Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing Minnesota Fat's Pool Legend for the Sega Saturn. Now you know guys, I do try and run a tight ship. I try and keep things as professional as I can. But, oh hang on, just one sec. Ta-da! Wow, that was amazing. That was transcendent. Woo! If I could describe this game in a few words, it'd be goofy, Gumby, succinctly 90s, and funny. I feel this game has aged quite well, sort of. When you play through the Saturn library, the sorts of games you'd be expecting would be Knights, Guardian Heroes, and a slew of other action games. The sort that many would enjoy. You would never anticipate Shanghai would be more than just a piece of mediocre shit, but it was addictive and pretty good. What we have is exactly that. Again. This game was released in both Japan as Side Pocket 2 and in the US as Minnesota Fat's Pool Legend. Now, I couldn't really pass up an opportunity to review a game with Fats in the name. And it didn't disappoint on that level either. Minnesota Fats is quite portly. The game was developed and published by Data East, and Minnesota Fats got a release on both the Genesis and Saturn. The story in the game is straightforward and yet so lame. So very, very lame. But don't get me wrong, I loved it. I thought it was badly acted and hammed up, but you know what, I couldn't help but have a dumb smile on my face for the entire thing. Fats, don't give up your day job. So the story is ridiculous. You're Fats, and you've been teaching Junior the ropes forever. Everything he learned from you. I was going to show you the entire video, but it's going to go for far too long. All you need to know is that it was so bad, it's awesome. Here is a highlight which should accurately demonstrate, well, everything.
Fred, watch it, don't break the door. Fred, watch it, don't break the door. Fred, watch it, don't break the door.
Fred, watch it, don't break the door.
You used to hustle, but you're too old now. But of course that doesn't really stop you when you find out Junior's now working for the infamous G, who's the bad guy. And I mean, we don't really know anything about G apart from the fact that, yes, he is the bad guy. So now you have to hustle your way around the country to find Junior and teach him that G is bad. By hustling him. The way he's gonna be hustling us. Is it still hustling when there's two experts involved? Wouldn't that just make it a game of professional pool? Surely it's just shit talking before a game like they do in those wrestling matches. Anyway, here's what you need to know. Menu presentation is pretty functional in design, but the actual menu itself is total shit. I tried to select tournament, trick game, or jukebox, and apart from the obvious, it just skipped over them. I don't know what's going on, but I tried replugging in my controller, I tried a different controller, and I couldn't fix it. Such a strange bug. Might have something to do with my PAL Saturn, maybe since this copy is a US version. In-game presentation is a bit weird in the sense that accuracy of the shot depends on the angle and how hard you hit. Of course, naturally. But the indicator bar on how hard you hit was only a small bar off to the left. Luckily, the indicative coin moves slowly for accurate shots. Since the display is in 4x3, we don't have much screen to use and it kind of feels like all the crap at the top is mostly wasted. The indicator is too small, there's too much filler at the top, and there's not enough of the actual table. I see mobile pool games knowing full well that this is a big deal, and they give you the pool table with very little else, which is how it should be done. Not to ruin too much, but this was the biggest issue I took with the game. The game is fine graphically, it's not bad, just alright. It kinda goes hand in hand with the presentation. If we had more table on the screen, perhaps we'd have bigger balls, okay, perhaps I could have worded that a bit better, and more detail, but short of that, I found everything else fine. Animation was pretty well done, colours were good, figuring out stripes versus solids wasn't too hard, and the physics I will talk about more in the gameplay section. Each of the tables we get all look nice. The jazz in the menus were relaxing and quite fitting. The jazz in game, however, did get a bit much. I mean, I did like it for a while, but it's mostly 30 to 40 second bits they have on repeat. At least it wasn't distracting. Sound effects were quite good. Because of the aforementioned issue with the fucking menu skipping parts of the menu, it'll be the first time in recent memory where I can't review the entire game. I mean, okay, yeah, I guess it hasn't stopped me in the past. So what I will review is exactly that. The difficulty in this game felt fair, and I know it's strange to be the first thing to talk about in gameplay, but it is especially important in a game like this. As someone who's a dunce at playing pool in person, the game is quite happy to point out to me that I also suck at this in video game form. So, in that respect, the simulation is painfully accurate. My most favourite word in this game is foul, and not foul as in this game is foul, or that we saw some foul in the bushes, but when you sink the black when it's not the last ball to sink, you win. And man, the amount of times it looked like I was about to have my ass handed to me when he accidentally sunk the black ball halfway through being amazing was numerous times. It also goes to show that no matter how good you are, you can still fuck up. It did feel like a few times there were magnets in the pockets when they took a shot, but when I took a similar shot, the magnets turned against me and there were both positives or negatives, rebounding anything coming towards it. In real life I would make a number of fluke shots, but this game wouldn't have any of that. Only the computer can pull off bullshit shots. You, sir, need an acceptable amount of competency. The physics in this game aren't the best, but they're probably more real than I'd like to admit. It still felt fine to control, and the shots felt mostly accurate. The replayability comes with the 2-player because the story loses its charm after several playthroughs. You can only laugh so hard and so long at the hammy acting and silly story. Would I recommend this game? You know, I didn't think I would. When I started playing this, at no point was this silly little game on pool ever going to be something I'd recommend. But I will. I recommend you, Fats. I'm not dying of love, and quite honestly, you're silly at times, but everything else seems to be in place. It's like when your wife watches you do something retarded, but still loves you anyway. Not because she has to, but because she wants to. There's enough charm here to make this game more than the sum of its parts.